Okay, we're going to show the process of making the fleur-de-lis. As you can see, I have the 3 leaves just tacked together right now. What I'm going to do is heat them up and bring them up to a forge welding heat and weld them together. That'll be the first step. Now I'm pulling it out to put the flux on it right into the fire so I don't lose the heat. Flip it over and put the flux on the other side. The flux keeps it from oxidizing while I'm doing the forge weld, giving me a clean weld. Okay, now I'm going to bring it out, tack it together, and then put it back in for the weld. Now I go back in for another heat. When it reaches the forge welding heat, the flux begins to come molten on the surface and begins to clean the area. And at that point I know it's ready to forge weld, so I bring it out again and then I'll forge weld it some more. All right. Got to do a little adjustment on the leaves here. Now at this point what I'm going to do is put it back in the fire, draw it out just a little bit more, and then scarf it. Get it in preparation to weld it to the next piece.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now you notice the pitch I put on the end is for the scarfing. I'm preparing it for the forge weld to the next bar. And now I'm going to go back in for another heat. Okay. Now I'm going to prepare the other piece for welding also. Now this piece is scarfed and ready to be joined with this piece when it reaches the forge welding heat. They'll be put together in this manner and then forge welded, becoming one piece. Okay, now we have it up to a forging heat. We're going to bring it out and forge weld it together. Okay, disconnect. Okay, now I'm getting ready to put it back into the fire and heat it up again so I can bend the leaves the opposite direction so I can close up the forge weld on this side. A lot of times when you have a piece like this, you can't always get the forge welds on both sides, so you have to move the pieces around to finish it. Okay, now I'm going to bring it out for the final forge weld and close it all up. Now I'm going to go back in for another heat just to do a little bit more adjustment. Now I'm ready for the quenching. You want to do the quenching?
Yeah.
And here's the finished product.
We're now in the process of assembling this gate we've been working on all week. And on my right is Pete Renzetti, who is about to rivet part of the railing together. Where's the extra tenon, Pete? This tenon, people that know woodwork are familiar with the mortise and tenon. The blacksmith uses the mortise and tenon also. And this is the tenon, the hole is the mortise, and they're about to be put together. These little indentures here are keys because the tenon is round and the hole is round and we don't want it to turn. So when this is riveted over, the metal is forced into those little grooves there, and that prevents it from turning. As you can see, there's something of a ballet dancer in a blacksmith. He can get into all sorts of positions when he's doing his work. Now that we have riveted this part of the gate together with these three twisted balusters, which Pete is checking very carefully, I'll show you how the twist is done. It starts with a simple rectangular piece of metal. The metal is grooved on two edges and then put in the vise and twisted very carefully. There are many forms of twists, maybe 100. And it's fun sometimes to play with them and think up a new twist. One of my students came up with an unusual twist that we called the Rubik twist, for example. You ready? Yep. All right. Here we go. You can see the grooves and how the twisting makes a decorative pattern.